He did the final Black Sabbath show. This is it. All four original guys. He died 2 weeks later?
Do you believe legends ever truly die? Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, may be gone, but the mystery surrounding him has only just begun. After decades of chaos, music, and mayhem, the world was stunned when FBI agents arrived at his mansion just before his death. What were they looking for? What did they uncover? Fans are left asking, was it lost music, private letters, or something even darker? This isn't just another rock and roll story, it's a real-life thriller that will shake everything you thought you knew about Ozzy Osbourne. Stick around because what was found will leave you speechless. What was hidden in Ozzy's home? That could shock even seasoned investigators. Was it unreleased music, personal letters, or something more disturbing? To understand the weight of that question, we need to understand the man behind the myth. This is the story of John Michael Osbourne, a boy from Aston, Birmingham, who became a god of music, lived like a madman, and died like a legend. Before the headlines, before the stage lights, Ozzy Osbourne was just another working-class kid growing up in a cram home in Birmingham, England, with 6 children under one roof and no indoor toilet. He had dyslexia, which made school a nightmare, and his thick Birmingham accent made him the target of relentless bullying. One violent attack near his school when he was just 11 left a trauma that stayed with him for life. He once admitted it completely messed him up. From those dark beginnings, he found escape in alcohol and pills by the age of 14. At 17, he was arrested for stealing clothes and spent 6 weeks in prison. That moment, being locked in with hardened criminals, was the first time he truly realized he didn't want to live that kind of life. Then came a moment that changed everything. In 1968, Ozzy joined a band that would become known as Black Sabbath. The band didn't just play music, they birthed a genre with dark themes, heavy riffs, and eerie lyrics. They invented what we now call heavy metal. Songs like War Pigs and Paranoid made them icons, and Ozzy their wild frontman. But fame brought demons. Substance abuse spiraled out of control. In 1979, Ozzy was kicked out of Black Sabbath. Many thought that was the end, but it wasn't even the beginning. His solo debut, Blizzard of Oz, released in 1980, launched him back to the top with hits like Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley. That album alone sold over 5 million copies in the United States, proving he didn't need a band to be a phenomenon. He became a solo force of nature, but the chaos followed. One of the most infamous moments of his career came when he bit the head off what he thought was a rubber bat. It turned out to be real. He had to get rabies shots immediately. Another time, he bit the head off a dove during a meeting at CBS Records. These moments fed the legend, but they were never planned. He later said, "When I'm sober, I don't walk into CBS Records and bite a dove's head off." Addiction plagued him for decades. Pills, alcohol, whatever numbed the pain. He admitted he often didn't know what he was doing. He once checked into the Betty Ford Clinic for rehab but relapsed afterward. He confessed how hard it was to return to normal life. And behind the headlines was a man battling not just substances, but inner demons, trauma, and the fear that he wouldn't survive the night. Then came Sharon Osbourne. They met when she was just 18 and working in her father's office. At first, she found Ozzy and his band unkempt and strange. But when she saw Black Sabbath perform live that night, she was blown away. The intensity, the power, it changed everything. They began working together in 1979, and by 1980, they were dating. It wasn't love at first sight, but over time, Sharon was pulled in by his humor, vulnerability, and eccentric charm. Their relationship was far from perfect. Ozzy was still married with children when they met, and Sharon was battling business troubles caused by her father's manipulation. Her father had set up all his companies under Sharon's name, leaving her with legal and financial chaos. She once came home to find tax officials had taped off her house with yellow caution tape. Meanwhile, Ozzy had lost everything in his divorce. They started from rock bottom, no money, lawsuits, and personal baggage, but together, they rose. Sharon became Ozzy's manager and fiercest protector. Through all the chaos, she stayed. Even in 1989, when Ozzy, in a drug-induced rage, tried to strangle her, she said if she'd had a gun, she would have used it. Still, they chose to fight for their love, and somehow, they survived. In the early 2000s, Ozzy became a global household name once again, not through music, but television. The Osbournes, a reality show featuring Ozzy, Sharon, and their children Jack and Kelly, gave the world an intimate look at their chaotic, hilarious family life. Fans saw Ozzy stumble through his mansion trying to work the remote, yelling at the dogs, cursing at everyday problems. It was raw, funny, and unlike anything TV had seen. The show was a hit, making the family millions. It also humanized a man who had long been portrayed as a monster behind the scenes. Ozzy's health was declining. In 2003, he crashed his quad bike and nearly died. He spent 8 days in a coma and broke several bones. Around the same time, Sharon was battling cancer. Their children were also facing addiction, though they later found recovery. Then came the news that shook fans. Ozzy had been battling Parkinson's disease in secret since 2003. He revealed the truth publicly in 2020, calling it a nightmare. A fall in 2019 made things worse. It damaged his spine and left him barely able to walk. By 2023, he'd undergone multiple surgeries and finally announced his retirement from touring. "I've given everything I can," he said. "Now, I just want to be with my family." And so, he returned home. That his final days were spent in quiet. No more cameras, no hospital machines. Just Sharon, his children, and music. One song played on repeat, Changes by Black Sabbath, a haunting ballad of transformation and goodbye. In his final moments, he whispered to Sharon, "I'm not afraid anymore." When the world learned of his passing at age 76, the shock was immediate and global. Fans were devastated. Social media flooded with tributes, memories, and heartbreak. Hashtags like #RipOzzy, #PrinceOfDarkness, and #ThankYouOzzy trended worldwide within minutes. Streets in Birmingham, the city of his birth, became makeshift. Shrines, flowers, candles, handwritten notes, and photos blanketed the sidewalk outside his childhood home in Los Angeles. Fans gathered outside the gates of the home he shared with Sharon, singing his songs late into the night. Cities from Tokyo to Toronto saw candlelight vigils, with fans uniting across generations to mourn the man who changed the face of rock forever. Radio stations paid tribute, with marathon blocks of his music, playing everything from his Black Sabbath classics to his solo deep cuts. Documentaries were re-aired. Tribute concerts were quickly announced, and while the grief poured out, so did the questions, the mysteries left behind by a legend. Why had he revised his will just a year before his passing? According to reports, Amy Osbourne, his eldest daughter, who had famously declined to appear on the Osbournes' reality show, was excluded from certain portions of the estate. But sources close to the family insist it wasn't out of resentment. Rather, it was a gesture of protection to respect her long-standing desire for privacy and distance from the spotlight. And then there were the whispers of unreleased music, tracks recorded quietly during his final years, songs written in pain, love, and reflection, stored away in a private archive, never released, never heard. Some insiders believe Sharon Osbourne may one day share them with the world, possibly as part of a memoir, a documentary, or a final posthumous album. Others claim Ozzy wanted those tracks buried with him, a final secret kept in silence. Either way, the legend lives on. Then came the story that stunned fans and media alike, the FBI showing up at Ozzy Osbourne's mansion. No one knew exactly why they were there, or what they hoped to find. Was it unreleased recordings, personal journals, financial documents, or perhaps something even more private, something never meant for public eyes? As of now, no official statement has confirmed or denied what was discovered during that visit. But the rumors haven't stopped. The mystery, much like Ozzy's legacy, lingers. But behind all the gossip, speculation, and potential lawsuits lies one undeniable truth. Ozzy Osbourne gave everything. He poured his heart, his darkness, his madness, and his love into his music and into the world. Even at the peak of fame, when millions worshipped him like a rock god, Ozzy lived with deep fears. He spoke openly about his panic attacks, his night terrors, and his constant dread of death. In his later years, he didn't turn to organized religion for peace. He turned to energy healers, mediums, and private chaplains, not for salvation, just to find stillness. But Ozzy was ready. He had made peace not with the spotlight, not with the world, but with himself. Now, murals of Ozzy Osbourne are appearing in London, Los Angeles, and Birmingham. His songs like Mama, I'm Coming Home, Suicide Solution, and Diary of a Madman are echoing once more, reminding us all, he didn't just make noise. He made people feel seen. He was flawed, fearless, and unforgettable. So here we are, saying goodbye to Ozzy Osbourne, a man who walked through darkness and lit the way for millions. His legacy lives on, not just in music, but in the hearts of fans worldwide. If this tribute moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories about the legends. Who shaped our world? Drop your favorite Ozzy moment in the comments because legends never truly fade. Thanks for watching.